Hi guys, and welcome back to another NARAKA video. Today we're going to start a series of videos talking about the heroes that are in NARAKA BLADEPOINT, and it's only natural to start at the top of the list with the dangerous beauty Viper Ning. The blind blade master of West Yushan, Viper Ning's very blood has long been suffused with lethal poison. She stands atop the precipice of all mankind, her blades ever at the ready. As beautiful as she is deadly, her eyes shall never behold this world until the time of destiny is nigh. Viper has a dark past, a sad story. If you deep dive into the lore, you'll be able to get into that throughout your cultivation of your character. But today we're going to talk about her skills, her ultimate, and the different versions that you can choose once you cultivate your hero. Alright, so the default abilities for Viper Ning, we'll start with her skills. So her default is the Yushan Enigma. It has a 15-second cooldown time. So it's a basic skill of the Yushan Whisperers that concentrates her ki, then releases them in a blast that damages enemies and knocks them back a significant distance. Can interrupt the enemy's blue focus. So if you're seeing a dreaded spear being charged towards you and you know that you're going to be screwed when you get stuck in that dragon killer combo, it's a perfect time to whip out this skill and disrupt it. Now, I would probably recommend Yushan Enigma in trios over solos, just because you can disrupt a whole team that's focusing you hard. So you've got 3 people coming at you, can knock them all back if you can get them in that cone of a skill. So once you cultivate your heroes, you can unlock the other 2 options for your talents and ultimates. So the second version of this skill is Lockdown. So it's a 15-second cooldown again. You can infuse your ki into your enemies' meridians, damaging them. They become unable to use skills or ultimates. But the downside is that their focus moves, so those blue charges, they can't be interrupted for 8 seconds. So that is the downside of this. But I do recommend using this in solos. Yeah, in solo play, I would probably recommend using this just to disrupt a monk from using Bell or ultimate, or even to to silence the Mataris that are looking to get out quick once they know they're in trouble. It can stop them from using their abilities for a bit of time. So, but you do need to obviously be careful for the next 8 seconds that you don't get focused, because you can't do anything against that. Now the third version, Unfeeble. So 15-second cooldown again. So this one transforms one's ki into a flowing, gentle force, yet one that damages enemies. So this one reduces their healing received, but prevents their focus moves from being interrupted for 15 seconds. I personally don't use this one. Let me know if you do and why, because I would be interested why people would use this one. You are leaving yourself very vulnerable by not being able to interrupt any moves for 15 seconds. And reduce it. Typically when someone needs to run away to heal, they're not going to be within your attack distance anyway. They're probably going to zip out or dash out or be, not close. So I personally wouldn't use this one. Again, prove me wrong. Like I would love to know why you would use this one and learn a lesson there. All right, let's move on to ultimates. So the default ultimate for Viper Ning is Twilight Crimson. So Viper Ning summons the God of Yin's eye, marking nearby enemies. During this time, she cannot attack, and marked enemies cannot use grappling hooks. Once the summons is complete, marked enemies are stunned. The eye may only mark enemies that are visible to Viper Ning. The summoning takes 5 seconds and stuns enemies for 5 seconds. The default ultimate. This one, you see those purple tendrils that are coming out against the eye above Viper's head. So that means they're in her vision. So anyone that is caught within those after the 5 seconds of casting will be stunned for 5 seconds, leaving them extremely vulnerable. But the downside is that Viper is also very, very vulnerable. You can't attack during the summoning. You can, however, dash around, and that is what I would do. Dash around, counter anyone swinging at you. But most of the time you're going to find that other players that are caught in that tendril are just going to try and get out of your line of sight to avoid the stun. I would personally use this in trios. Definitely, if you can go in and run in on a third party, cast that and stun everyone within your distance. You want to make sure that you have your teammates with you watching your back while you're vulnerable and casting. But it would be devastating if you were to run in on a third party and stun a lot of people with that. Now, the second version of this is Seal, Twilight Crimson Seal. So Viper Ning summons the God of Yin's Eye, marking nearby enemies. During this time, she cannot attack, so again, she's vulnerable. You can, however, dash around. Once the summons is complete, marked enemies are stunned. Again, the difference here is that enemies marked, so during the summoning, when you have a tendril attached to you, they cannot use their skills, ultimates, or grappling hooks during the summoning. So the summoning lasts for 5 seconds, and the stun is only 2 seconds, as opposed to 5 of the default. So the benefit to this would be that they cannot escape as easily. The enemies that are caught on that tendril, they can't grapple out. They can't panic use their ultimates or their skills. But 2 seconds is going to fly by, so I'm so on this one. It might be good in trios where you have a lot of backup. Again, maybe solos. Solos, you're only worrying about one person typically. So I'm not sure. I'm on the fence about this one. I would maybe lean towards using this in solos, personally. Now, the third version. Twilight Crimson Unchained. So this one's very different. It's very different in that Viper is free to move around while she's casting it. So Viper Ning summons the God of Yin's Eye, marking enemies within a certain range. Enemies marked cannot use their skills, ultimate and grappling hook, during Viper Ning's summoning. This is like the second version of the ultimate. But Ning may move freely during her summoning, but enemies will no longer be stunned. The summoning lasts for 5 seconds. So basically for 5 seconds, anyone caught in the tendril is not going to be able to use their skills, ultimate or grappling hook, and Viper Ning is free to move around during it as well. You don't get the stun at all, but it's useful if you want to go in and finish some people off and prevent them from running away. I used to use this one quite a lot as an escape method when I would play solo in the beta when I used to play Viper Ning. It was a good little scare people away method because they think that they need to run away because they don't know. It's not visibly obvious which version of an ult heroes are using. So it would typically get people off my back enough for me to run out and get some heals or shields up. But yeah, these are the abilities and the skills and the ultimates available for Viper Ning, our first hero in NARAKA BLADEPOINT. Let me know which ones you use if you're a Viper player. I'd love to know why you use them, which ones you use for solos, for trios. I'd love to hear all about it. So thank you for joining me today to talk about Viper. In our next video, we will be talking about Tumult. So stay tuned for that one. Make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel so you can see all further videos. I appreciate all your support and I wish you all the best in your games. I will see you all next time. Bye.